Joe, I know you're still on the call.
The king is dead, or decrepit. Long live the queen. Kamala Harris is in ascendancy, but do you have a united Democratic Party behind her? Is it likely that there will still be infighting and backbiting and extraordinary plot developments to unfurl? What is this mad masquerade? Will Kamala Harris have an untrammeled and untroubled ascendancy, or is it likely that gruesome Gavin Newsom the nuisance will at some point veer into view? Is it likely that Michelle Obama or Hillary Clinton will suddenly be in the mix? Hey, you know that gender swap reboots are all the rage in Disney. Why not try that stuff in reality? We've already had a Clinton. Don't matter. Let's have a lady one. We've already had an Obama. Doesn't matter. Let's have a lady one. You can do that in the comments. I'm not doing it out here. You do what you got to do. First of all, is it normal to you in 2024 that presidents resign just sort of by tweet? Do you remember when people were astonished that Donald Trump used to administrate via X? Now, Joe Biden simply resigns the presidency on the internet and endorses Kamala Harris as a disembodied voice. Is this where the establishment is taking us?
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
And it is my great honor to have Joe's endorsement in this race.
You sure do.
Joe's like Ben Kenobi.
Much anger in him.
Was I any different when you taught me?
You didn't have to use that force, Kamala. Just use it, baby. Use it out there in the polls. Use it out there in the election. Where are you? Oh, if you kill me now, I'm going to become more powerful. You're going to have to be more powerful. You couldn't be less powerful. You were sort of like a ghost, a diaphanous ghost. You were floating through the presidency, wandering into the wrong wife. Are you my wife? You look like a photo version of Jill Biden. She's the president now anyway. This is astonishing. In this moment, Kamala Harris appears to come, I would say, tantalizingly close to using the word recording to describe Joe Biden, although a moment later he does say something like the feeling's mutual. But with AI as it is these days, are any of us convinced that Joe Biden is still in the realm of the living, or has he transcended into an even more ethereal form? Because he was pretty ethereal for the last couple of years. I mean, that was a pretty ethereal performance. I mean, if that had been Julian of Norwich in that debate against Trump, or some other enlightened saint, John of the Cross, just sort of gnostically talking about, we beat Medicare and odd peculiar speaking in tongues, it would have made more sense. It would make more sense to have a prophet. I'm talking about PH prophet, baby, because what we've got now does not make sense. Here's Kamala Harris appearing to nearly say, I can hear you on the recording. Check it.
It is so good to hear our president's voice. Joe, I know you're still on the call.
So good to get his disembodied voice here. It's so nice to hear him. Could we get a meme of Joe Biden? Do you think we could be governed by a meme?
And we've been talking every day. You guys heard it from Doug's voice. We love Joe and Jill. We really do. They truly are like family to us. And we do. Everybody here does.
It's mutual.
I would say that this is an attempt now to kind of repackage this in a kind of friendly and familial framing to kind of subvert the conclusion that you might otherwise draw that this is an et tu Joe Biden, et tu Kamala moment where we're forced to confront the reality that politics is a nefarious and dark world of infighting, backbiting and backstabbery and tomfoolery, and that Joe Biden, having served his purpose, has been dispatched to the world where only laptops go to die. He'll be found eventually in a laptop repair shop in Delaware. That's not my dad. That's not my president. His ears are too soft.
I knew you were still there. You're not going anywhere, Joe.
You're not going anywhere. Well, I think he is going to a variety of places, possibly, to the ultimate destination of the afterlife, to live in eternity with Jesus Christ. Fingers crossed, baby Joe. I hope you made the right decisions. Or, wherever else, people that are no longer of use to the system go. Of this, I can speak with some experience, because even when you're just a commercial commodity, let alone a political one, when the system can enjoy you and deploy you, you are the darling. You will receive rewards. Once you have served your purpose, you will be dispatched. You will be dispensed with. But they cannot but leave paper trails of their deception and duplicity, and all their harbingers and liars, and the choristers of the establishment that will come out grinning Nosferatu teeth, dripping with the blood of rectums that they sup upon. They will be recognizable, they will be seen, and they will be undone. Let's see. Now, well, a lot of people are talking about the fact that Joe Biden could already be dead. Now, this looks to me like sort of conspiracy theory stuff. There's Laura Loomer. We met Laura Loomer recently. By God, does she loom. She looms at Jake Tapper. She looms at everyone. Here's someone in the New York Post saying that it's likely that he's dead. Even Glenn Greenwald has got some pretty interesting questions to ask. Alex Jones is concerned about his signature. Sometimes it's really extraordinary, isn't it? The sort of scope of conspiracy theory, because it's like, whoa, has there just been an assassination attempt on the life of Donald Trump, and the Secret Service and the FBI appear to have been involved or inept in ways that are confusing and baffling? And then it comes down to, wait a minute, that's not Joe Biden's signature. Joe Biden can't have a signature, can he? At this stage, I mean, the things his hand must be doing. I don't want to ridicule a person who's plainly ill, who's clearly had to resign because, like many of us, he's served his function now within the establishment and he's crossed over the line.
It's not an official letterhead. The signature is obviously a different person. I mean, I just showed it. There's no doubt in my mind. It's completely different. Totally fake.
It's funny, isn't it, that Alex Jones talks about that, because also so was Alex Jones. Right, there's going to be a nuclear bomb, they're going to kill Biden. Blah, blah. I'm not taking the piss out of Alex Jones. Alex Jones predicts a lot of stuff correctly. He's made a lot of mistakes and he's paid a high price for his errors, Alex Jones. But he does always say there's going to be an assassination attempt on the life of Trump. There's going to be a nuclear missile. Interdimensional beings are going to rise up. That guy, so I wonder why he's bothered about the signature. It just seems like it would be below his remit. We can't continue to bring you this beautiful content without the support of our partners. Usury and debt are sins. Why would you base your entire economic system on sinfulness? Why would it be at the heart of everything we do? Do you sometimes think, how am I working so hard and still so heavily in debt? You get overdue bills and threatening phone calls, you never have any money to do anything. Just relentless. It won't stop. Well, Zero Debt USA is the way out. They've developed powerful new strategies to zap your debt quickly. Would you believe this? Permanently. Zero Debt USA stand between you and the bill collectors, negotiate with creditors to lower what you owe without bankruptcy or new loans. Won't that be a relief to you? Some debt solutions are time sensitive, aren't they? You know that already, so hurry, you don't want to miss out. Visit zapmydebt.com, talk to one of their debt relief strategists. Hello, I'll relieve you of your debt. I got a strategy. It's free. Find out how fast they can get you out of debt. You might be watching this now thinking, the whole system of usury is sinful and shame-based. Is there a way out? There is. It's Zap My Debt. Talk to a debt strategist today. Go to zapmydebt.com. That's zapmydebt.com. Do I need to spell it out for you? There's a solution. Okay, back to the content. This is a piece of excellent journalism. There'll be loads of things you don't agree with Chris Hedges on. He's an old school left-wing journalist, But have a listen to the analysis, baby. Have a listen to his analysis of the situation. And let me know in the Awaken Wonder chat over there on YouTube, and particularly you beauties in the Rumble chat, what you disagree with. What do you disagree with this analysis from Chris Hedges? Joe Biden was discarded by the same billionaire class he assiduously served throughout his political career. Mike Benz is going to agree with that. Barely able to stumble his way through the words on a teleprompter and not always cognizant of what is happening around him. His billionaire supporters pulled the plug. He was their creature. He's been in federal office for 47 years from start to finish. He was used as a foil to defeat Bernie Sanders in the 2020 primaries and was anointed as the candidate in 2024 in a Soviet-style primary campaign, i.e. he didn't stand up against the other candidates. They booted RFK out. They didn't listen to Marianne Williamson. And whatever you think about those people, those are the kind of voices, I believe, that are vital if you want to have a ongoing political discourse from across the political spectrum. And by the way, it's still a pretty narrow political spectrum. The billionaire class will now anoint someone else. Looks like some of the billionaire class are going to anoint Kamala Harris. Looks like that, right? But others will push for either one of the reboot vote candidates, Obama or Clinton, and others will push for gruesome Newsom. I don't know. There's probably people we don't know yet that could come out of the shadows. Democratic Party voters are stage props in this political farce. Donald Trump, unlike Kamala Harris, remember, this guy is left. He's left. He's left of me. He's left of you. He's left. Unlike Kamala Harris or any other apparatchik, the billionaire class selects as presidential candidate has a genuine and committed base, however fascistic. Now, Chris Hedges is a man of the left. He regards a populist and nation-first candidate like Trump as a fascist. You might disagree with his analysis, but try not to dismiss everything else he's saying on the basis of that word, because you're going to learn a lot from this. In Hitler and the Germans, the political philosopher Erich Vogelin dismisses the idea that Hitler, gifted in oratory and political opportunism, but poorly educated and vulgar, mesmerized and seduced the German people. The Germans, he writes, supported Hitler and the grotesque marginal figures surrounding him because he embodied the pathologies of a diseased society, one beset by economic collapse and hopelessness. Vogelin defines stupidity as a loss of reality. The loss of reality means a stupid person cannot rightly orient his actions in the world in which he lives. The demagogue, who is always an idiot, or idiota, I'm not sure if that's a typo or not, is not a freak or social mutation. The demagogue expresses the society's zeitgeist. Haven't you thought that before when you watch Hitler? Not that I watch a lot of Hitler. It's like that, God, this peculiar dude, how is he elevated to this position? Isn't it that he is somehow a vassal of the collective will of the German people after the economic collapse and spiritual collapse in the aftermath of the First World War and the punitive conditions of the Treaty of Versailles? Didn't they want some sort of oddly priapic, mustachioed lunatic figure, part chaplain, part Bavarian god, part Nietzschean orator, to somehow escalate their will back into a state of potency? What I suppose Hedges is offering, and it's hardly new to compare Trump to Hitler, is that if there is a comparison to be made, and it's certainly not a comparison I would make, I recognize, is that Trump is embodying something pathological, profound and deep. Do you remember when Marianne Williamson said, if you are going to beat Donald Trump, it's not going to be with these sort of wonkish bureaucrat people. Donald Trump has accessed power. He has accessed power. Now, particularly post-shooting, there's going to be a kind of a hagiographical perspective on Trump as an elevated leader. And I don't think anyone, the Dems, are going to be able to prop up in front of him gruesome Newsom, the reboot gender swap candidates, or Kamala Harris, who is clearly, as Hedges says here, just a candidate that has the billionaire class behind her now, is going to be able to take off a person with that degree of power and potency behind them. So Biden and the Democratic Party are responsible for this zeitgeist, for this time, for this mood. They orchestrated the deindustrialization of the United States, ensuring that 30 million workers lost their jobs in mass layoffs. The Democratic Party refuses to accept its responsibility for the capture of democratic institutions by a rapacious oligarchy. This is what is important, because Hedges would use the phrase rapacious oligarchy. We might say globalist elites, globalist establishment figures. There are various ways of describing an elite that control true power. Think of the wealth transfer that takes place during the pandemic. Where's that money now? The grotesque social inequality, the cruelty of predatory corporations, and an unchecked militarism. The Democrats will anoint another amoral politician, potentially Kamala Harris, it looks like. Probably Harris, he says, to use as a mask for outsized corporate greed, the folly of endless war, the facilitation of genocide, and the assault on our most basic civil liberties. The Democrats, tools of Wall Street, gave us Trump and the 74 million who voted for him in 2020. They look set to give us Trump again. God help us. Now, of course, I know that you love Donald Trump, and I know that you believe in Donald Trump. A good many of you do, but you know that I question these institutions themselves and believe in the need for deep change. I am so over the neoliberal establishment that I believe we require change at any cost. You know, I like Bobby. I know like a lot of you have questions about RFK. I think he's a great man. I love him. But it's deeper than that. We need institutional change. If indeed the FBI and Secret Services are collaborating in some sort of deep state lone gunman assassination, and if they were, it wouldn't be the first time, baby, then we need profound change. Now, let's just have a look at the legacy media getting behind Kamala Harris, as they plainly already are, saying, look, young people are into her. She's cool, actually, thinking about it now. She's not the person that says unburdened by the future of what might have been. She's not that. She's not that. She's not a person who allowed men to stay in prison too long because it was convenient for prison labour laws. She's not the person who pecuniously jailed men for marijuana crimes and then giggled about her own use of marijuana. None of these things are true. She's actually quite cool thinking about it. Get ready for the propaganda, baby. What time is it? Why, it's propaganda o'clock, of course.
I also want to talk about this appeal to Gen Z.
Right, which is a natural question.
Natural question for you.
I am here today just for this question. Yes, our biggest brat. Yeah.
So, I, for the record, I was tipped off about this, what I'm about to share with our voters, our viewers rather, by my 16-year-old
who truly
daughter,
is an
who
expert.
is an actual member of Gen Z. Kamala Harris appears to be leaning into this. The singer Charlie XCX tweeted last night, "Kamala is brat."
Wait a minute, a new slang is being used. Yeah, that's what America needs now. A new slang. Not an end to wars. Not a huge reckoning about what the hell's going on with this assassination attempt. We've got a new slang. The new slang will save us. It doesn't need a return of Jesus Christ. It doesn't need a revolution. We've got the new slang now. Let's all line up and salute some new slang.
And this is in reference to her album. It's called Brat. Kamala has branded her Kamala HQ Twitter page with the same aesthetic of the album. That's another Gen Z word, aesthetic.
Now, who can blame the young person who, of course, I've not heard of because I'm not young no more, but the actual campaign has rebranded according to it. Hey, do you know what? We've had a little lucky break. Cool people are actually into this, like youngsters and stuff who, we pay TikTokers as well. You're aware of that, right? That is part of the deal here. And you know that we're going to ban TikTok unless TikTok becomes more compliant. I'm not suggesting any of that's going on, but I am saying, do you really want a presidential candidate that immediately rebrands on the basis of, the word brat?
It's even becoming a trend on TikTok. Special Gen Z correspondent Jamie, what can you tell us about?
So first of all, just for my producer Elizabeth Stewart, who will spit out her coffee as I say this, I am supposed to say, that's brat.
Okay, well, brilliant. We've got that's brat now. We used to have George Washington and Thomas Paine-inspired philosophies and constitutional miracles. We used to have the opportunity for federal states, each independent and democratically run as a constitutional republic. I hear you, kids. We used to have the possibility that technology would be used to facilitate growth and progression and freedom for all. And now what we have is brat. Woohoo! Thank God for that. So, let me know what you think about the Joe Biden resignation. Is Joe Biden still with us? Was he ever really with us? And is switching Biden out for another establishment-owned candidate going to make any difference? I don't think so, but that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments in the chat. Remember, even if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, but more important than that, get on over to Rumble right now. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.